Hello, so this video is about Finnish apartment companies that rent apartments, Lumo and Sato. So if you are in Finland and you're considering renting an apartment from either of these companies, I don't recommend it. I've been talking about, not Sato but Lumo. I have talked about Lumo before. And now I also want to address Sato because I think it's very important that we are aware about these issues because they're serious issues, because it's your home. It's supposed to be your home that you should be able to live in if you rent an apartment. So apparently both of these companies have a lot of bad reviews, which does not surprise me anymore after these issues that I have been witnessing myself personally with these companies when it comes to these apartments, because clearly they don't care about their tenants, families. They only seem to care about their own reputation and money. So they have expensive apartments, especially it is said that Sato has very expensive apartments. And so if you happen to be interested in an older apartment from them, don't expect it to be in a very good shape. So apparently there are many people who have also been suffering from these issues when they have rented apartments from these companies, and then they have been let down and mistreated and disrespected and all of that. Because if you demand a discount, they won't give it. They won't come across you halfway, no matter how much you try, apparently. And so you don't want to end up in this situation. So be careful when it comes to renting an apartment, and especially from these companies. You have to make sure that you know your rights as a tenant, and don't be surprised if you encounter issues. Because the common denominator with these apartments is that they are in such a bad shape that there can be broken items and dirty spots, and they have not been checked out properly, when the last tenant moves out, because typically they're supposed to be cleaning after themselves and be checking everything, and there is usually a strict list that this kind of a company sends when you are planning to move out from that current apartment, that there's a list about the things that you have to do and check and clean and all of that. And that is why the rent deposit is also there. Because Sato usually has no rent deposit for some reason. Maybe it is just in a commercial way to have more clients. But anyway, usually they don't have it. And if they do, it's 250 euros, which is not much. So you don't need to be a mathematician to understand that that amount does not cover if there are some, bigger issues within that apartment, which usually cost a lot to clean or fix. So there are these differences with these companies, and this is usually how it is with Sato. But anyway, so you want to be careful if you are considering on renting from Sato. And, don't be surprised if they try to fool you in any way, trick you into taking that apartment, and then when you encounter issues, it's all on you, that you have to report everything. when it's not even your problem to begin with to do. So this is the common issue here that can be very heavy, especially when you have already been through a horrible move. You know, moves are never really anything light, so you might be already exhausted and drained out, and on top of that, when you start to see these flaws and, you know, issues within that apartment, so it's not okay. And they just claim that once you have already agreed to take that apartment and you have signed the lease and you have to live there for a certain period of time, very likely this can be in the contract. So it can be very difficult to get out of that situation, and they seem so narcissistic that they don't even say sorry. They don't apologize in any way. The same issue is with Lumo. The treatment from Lumo was even worse, but also, you know, very similar energy, very similar cases. Anyway, and you know, just to let you know that. So just to let you know and to warn you that, you know, if this resonates, that you are in Finland and you are either living already in an apartment and you're in this situation, so my condolences. And, you know, just a warning that if you are considering renting an apartment from this, then make sure that you know where you stand and, you know, all of that. So as a tenant, you have to watch your own back, because these companies won't care. They just want money. They don't really care about you as a human being, you know, what your health is, for example, if it's too cold in that apartment or the air is not okay. Because, you know, as I've been saying in my videos, these kind of narcissistic, selfish people can walk around a lot, and they can be in these big companies working there, and they just don't care about you as a human being, what your needs and feelings and emotions are, and what your health is like. If you're living in their apartments and you are suffering because of the state of that apartment, so they don't care. So don't be surprised if this happens. So yeah, my advice is to stay far away from these companies and not be engaged